What's up, guys? It's your boy Jug, and today we're going to be looking at a full walkthrough of the first dungeon in New World, the Armine Excavation. Now, if you haven't completed this dungeon yet, don't worry, because this walkthrough is going to show you where to go, what you're going to be fighting against, and also the location of the secret chest that you might miss if you're not paying attention. I'll let you guys know now, it's a good idea to get at least one healer and one tank in your party to help out with the final boss, so just keep that in mind when you're creating your party. So let's get right into the walkthrough so you can check this off in your quest list. Now once you get into the dungeon, there's going to be a few mobs that you're going to need to kill. And once you finish them off, you're going to have the option to either go down the tunnel or to the left. There's like a little shortcut that you can take, and it's a ledge you can jump off and just skip a few of the monsters that are in the tunnel. So if you want to, you could just take the shortcut and then continue on the path. So as you keep on continuing through the dungeon, you'll notice one of the monster types have the name of a withered nest. They kind of look like trash piles to me. What I would say is make sure you kill these first, because they actually spawn up some of the other monsters that you see running around, and if you don't kill these nests, the monsters may overwhelm you, or you might just be fighting for a really long time. So just make sure you take those out as soon as possible. You also want to check each area for chests, because those chests contain things like armor, gear, and consumables. So it's just really important that you search each area thoroughly, because the thing about this dungeon is that the location of each of the chests don't change whether it's your first time or 21st time entering the dungeon. Once you finish killing all the mobs in the area, you'll notice that there's a sealed door that you'll need to unlock with your Azov staff. So all you have to do is just walk up to it and then hit R. Once you make it to the next area, like always, you're going to need to clear out all the monsters and all the mobs in that area before you start searching around for chests and start doing the quest line. When you're killing these mobs, you're probably going to notice that there's a weird contraption. There's going to be 3 of these that have these lights surrounding the middle. These contraptions, you're going to need to stand on these later on, and we're going to get to that. But first, we need to go ahead and look at where this secret chest is. So once you enter the area, you want to make a left and go down both sets of steps. You'll notice that there's a waterfall. If you jump off the steps and into the water, be careful about not falling into the deep end, but just make your way to where the waterfall is, and you'll notice that there's a chest underneath the waterfall. So once you go ahead and collect that, you can make your way back up to the area you were just at. Just take the path all the way to the top of the platform and kill all the monsters that are sitting and waiting for you. Now when you're killing these monsters, make sure that you pay close attention when you're fighting the Ravengers, because they actually drop a quest item that you're going to need for Barkamedes. And it gives you a decent amount of XP, so just make sure you pick up the item that it drops, because if you miss one, you're going to have to do the whole dungeon over again. Now once you finish clearing that area, you'll notice that the bridge to get across is not there. So what you want to do is just continue where you found that first Ravenger, continue through that little tunnel, clear out all the mobs, and look directly to your left. There's going to be a soul spire that you can mine. Next, you're going to use your staff again to decipher the code that's sitting on the rock at the top of the path. So do that and then continue on. In the next area, again, like I mentioned earlier, it's really smart to stay with your team, because you can easily get overwhelmed if you're by yourself in this area. So once you finish clearing out all the mobs, there's going to be a chest behind the pillar right before you enter the next area. So just make sure you grab that normally if you're in a party, you're going to see everybody swarming to that chest because that one's not really hard to miss. So the next area is actually the same area that you just left that had the 3 contraptions that you're going to have to stand on top of. So somebody from your party, well actually 3 people from your party, are going to have to stand on each contraption at the same time to activate the bridge. And when you activate that bridge, of course, as we all know in dungeons, monsters are going to spawn up and you're going to have to clear those out as well. Now we're starting to get closer to the end of the dungeon. The next area, I have to say, this is not one of my favorite areas just because of the mini boss that you have to fight. So go ahead and clear out all of the initial mobs, then look for the 2 chests that are going to be found in this area. Now the chests are going to be locked, and that's just because you have to defeat that mini boss first. And in order to get that mini boss to spawn, you should notice that there's a shrine at the top of the platform. So go ahead and interact with that, and then the mini boss will spawn. Now with this mini boss, he has an AoE that you don't want to get hit by, because it definitely hits and it definitely hurts. So if you can dodge, make sure you dodge. And if you got a healer in the party, I hope they're paying attention to the party's health, because you're definitely going to need some heals fighting this boss. So once you kill that mini boss, you can go ahead and collect those chests and head to the next area. Once you finish fighting your way through the next area, you'll notice that there's going to be a respawn point, and then there's going to be a set of doors that open automatically once you get close enough. When you get through those doors, there's going to be maybe a few mobs, a few monsters that you need to kill. Go ahead and knock those out before you actually activate that main boss. And you'll notice the main boss because he got a huge blue aura that's surrounding his body. The healer should make sure everybody is capped out with their health, and then you can go ahead and start the fight. The boss is going to have a few words for you before you guys start, so just go ahead and hear what he says, and then go ahead and knock him out. During this fight, you want to make sure that you do not get hit by his ground pound attack, because it'll stun you, and you'll be stuck in place, and then he also has these little mobs that spawn up, and they'll just surround you and do a ton of damage. So just make sure you watch out for that, and just try to run away from him once he starts chasing you. Go ahead and let the other players do damage, and once he switches aggro to one of the other players, that's when you want to start attacking. Your healer should be healing at all times. And your tank, hopefully, if they can keep aggro, you'll be good to go just to do damage. So I'm going to go ahead and let you all watch the rest of this boss fight, and hopefully you can get a good idea of how to take him down. And there you have it. Once you kill the boss, just make sure you grab everything from the chest and exit the dungeon. Well, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and learned something new. If you did, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, bang on that notification bell, share this video, and I'll catch you on the next one.